All right, friends, now for our second brown owl, we are going to be doing a great horned owl. Great horned owls are called that because of these little tufts of feathers on the sides of their head that look like ears. They're not actually ears. Their ears are actually over here. But they do have these little tufts of feathers that totally look like cat ears on these great horned owls. All right, so to get us started, you're gonna start off with your brown piece of paper, and we're gonna draw what looks like a cat head. So obviously start off with your pencil if you need to, but you can go ahead, and I'm gonna use a Sharpie just for the sake of demonstration. And I'm gonna start by drawing a curved line at the top of my head. And then I'm gonna add these little tufts of feathers that look like ears coming down on my owl. Then next I'm gonna draw the head coming down, and just like our barn owl, I'm gonna make this side of the body coming down straight, and I'm gonna make this side of the body looking like it's coming off the page a little bit to give it more of an owl look, like he's got his head turned and it's saying, "Who is there?" All right, next step is the face. So to start off our face, owls kind of always have a menacing look. So I'm gonna draw a V shape on the head, almost like an angry eyebrow to start us off. Once I have that shape, I'm gonna draw his little fuzzy cheeks. So I'm gonna go and create those fuzzy lines again with my Sharpie, and they're gonna go up slightly in the center. And create these fuzzy lines to create a face. And you can go over and do another layer of them if it helps you out. Awesome. All right, once you have the shape of your owl and his face, we're gonna give him some eyes. So for his eyes, I'm gonna draw a line and a large eye underneath. Same with the other side, a line and a large eye underneath. These owls often have some crazy looking eyebrows, so I'm gonna give him looking like some more feathers above his eyes, giving him some crazy looking feathery eyebrows. Alrighty. Next, I'm gonna give him big giant pupils in his eye for both of his eyes. And inside there, I'm gonna put another one of those white circles and shade in my eye. The big owl eyes. Trying to make them as even as possible. Kind of looks like he's wearing cool sunglasses right now, but it won't in the end. All right, after this, I'm gonna add a beak. So to add a beak, I'm just gonna draw a long beak coming from the bottom. And I'm going to color it all in except for a little sliver of white to make it look shiny a little bit. I just left a little sliver of white. It gives it the appearance of looking shiny. Alrighty. Now I'm gonna add some texture to my owl. So here is our basic outline of our owl. I'm gonna add some texture to it, and that's what's really gonna make it come to life. Great horned owls are a little bit fuzzier than a regular owl. So to get us started, I'm gonna start with my ears by creating lines to create a fuzzy texture on the top of my ears. To do that, I'm just drawing gentle lines. Then I'm gonna draw some more in the middle of my ears. Because remember, they're not actually ears, they look like ears, but they're just tufts of feathers. And you can make them, your little lines, as dense as possible. This is using that hatching technique that we talked about earlier this year. All right, on his face, in between his eyes, I'm gonna draw some lines coming down as well around his eyes. So it looks like his eyes are sunken in some feathers. And then on the side of my beak, I'm gonna add a couple of little feathers going down. All right. Next, all around his face, I'm gonna add some more little tufts of feathers. I like doing little sections, just so it looks like he's a little fluffier. Around his neck, I'm gonna draw like a whole collar of feathers. Like I said, I'm just drawing little lines. You could do 2 layers of lines if it's easier for you. And we don't need them to be perfect. The least perfect amount is actually better. All right, now instead of little arrows like our last owl had, this one's got little squigglies all over it. So on his head, he also has almost looks like polka dots. But I'm just drawing almost polka dots with little zigzag lines to look like feathers on his head. Same with his body, so I'm gonna add a couple of big chunks of zigzags all over him. And I usually start with a long line and end with a longer line. I'm just covering his body with horizontal lines. All right, from here, if you see anything that looks like it might look better with a couple of more lines, feel free to add them in on the sides. I always think it looks nice to add some on the sides coming in, but it's up to you. All right, once I am here, I'm gonna go back to my original drawing. You guys can start coloring. I added white around the eyes, the tops of his ears, and underneath his little cheeks. You can add white if you would like to as well, or you can add a different color. I also added black inside of his ears, around the silhouette of him, and into the collar a little bit. I filled in those extra spaces with brown, but I let some of the brown paper show through. All right, guys, that is our great horned owl. I hope you like the way that yours turned out. Mine both look very different, but that is okay. They both totally look like an owl. All right, guys, good luck and have a great day.